Hello again, everybody. Here's yet another dynamic interview for you. This time I am joined by one of my favorite humans, actually. His name is David Newman. And if you haven't heard of him by that name, you probably know of the company called Do It Marketing, Do It exclamation point marketing. He has a best-selling book called appropriately Do It Marketing. And it has 77, I'm not going to get the subtitle right, but it's like actionable strategies, basically that lets you kick ass in your business and be this marketing czar that you want to be. So David, thanks for joining me today.
Jill, it is a pleasure and a privilege as always. And do it and dynamic and do it, it belongs together.
It does, right? So everybody, in true transparency, I've gotten to work with David in multiple capacities, and we've kind of switched roles as I learned from him and he's learned from me, and it's been this amazing exchange. But I wanted him in this chapter specifically to talk about webinars because of so many entrepreneurs that I know. He uses webinars in ways that generate leads, that promote sales, and then that are actually profitable items in and of themselves. So David, when did you first start using webinars and why did you choose that as a channel?
Yeah, so I'll answer that question backwards. Why not? So webinars are very, very serious business. Webinars are fantastic for expanding your reach and your revenue as an entrepreneur, as a thought leading professional, as a business owner. So, we're not talking about doing webinars for the sake of webinars. We're not talking about dabbling. We're not talking about dipping your toe in. We're talking about this can be one of your main pillar strategies that grows your business, grows your revenues, like Jill said, grows your sales. And it has become truly one of the cornerstones of my revenue generation strategy. So how I actually started on the phone. I started doing a lot of teleseminars back in 2002 and 2007, 2008. Not that webinar technology wasn't there. I just didn't think it was worth it. I just said, you know what? We're going to use the phone. Everyone knows how to use the phone. There's no downloads. There's no plugins. You don't need to be tied to a computer. So I did a lot of teleseminars. And I used the teleseminars back in the day in the same way that we're going to talk about using webinars today. So I used them for marketing and tribe building. I use them for making offers and generating sales. I use them as a lead generator. I use them as a way that my customers and clients could try before they buy. And I really didn't get into webinars until about 2012. And my very first webinar, this was November of 2012. I remember it very clearly because it was such a turning point. I did a 1-hour webinar. I made an offer, and then from the time that I woke up that morning to the time that I went to bed that night, there was $10,000 in my business bank account that wasn't there in the morning, that was there at night because of that 60-minute webinar. And what I did and what I offered and how I rolled that opportunity out to people, I got 10 people to say yes to investing in $1,000 product, program, service, whatever it was. So, and this is my first time out. So I'm like, oh my God, is this beginner's luck? Is this magic? What's going on? And then I just did it week after week, month after month, not weekly, but at least every month I did 1 or 2 webinars. Now I've scaled that up where it's almost 1 a week. And it has become just a huge, huge profit center. So I started, Jill, like everyone else starts with any other form of mastering communication. We always have to crawl before we walk, before we run, before we fly. I just happened to get lucky on that first one. And believe me, I've had some $0 webinars. It hasn't all been, oh, I'm making 10, 20, 30. No, you try something, you stumble, you go back, you readjust the formula, you try it a different way the next time. It's constantly tuning, tweaking, adjusting. And I know you're a master of this. It's about understanding your audience and where they are and who they are and what they need and what they want from you as a communicator, as an entrepreneur, as someone that can solve their problem. And that's constantly going to be in flux. And so you research it, you fine tune it, and you keep getting better at it.